What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. More Ritual Revolution action for you guys to check out. This time, Necros is stepping into the ring. Necros could potentially actually have a bright 2019, not just because of Savage Strike, the first core booster set of next year, which obviously is going to give us more incantations and pot of indulgence. But, you know, Konami did announce some Necros reprints after like 4 years. People definitely are looking forward to those. Now, pot of indulgence can conflict with Mega or the Megas of Borg, and both of those can be power cards, so you do kind of have to watch that. And Konami did reveal another incantation card in Dark Neo Storm, but it's a field spell. It's kind of like Dark Magical Circle. When you ritual summon a monster, you get to blow up a monster on your opponent's side of the field, but the problem is you can't really use it like turn one, so you know, maybe that's not the greatest thing. Anyways, first duel is against Cubics, and Necros get to go first. And honestly, man, these ritual decks are just so powerful because of the incantations. You get so many pluses. I personally would try to fit in like Herald of Perfections. I want some, you know, stun in my builds. I have actually seen people play Vanity's Ruler in these decks as well, because it's like a 2 tribute Vanity's Fiend monster that's as hard as hell to kill. You can see he does get the turn 1 Megas of Borg. And the good thing about Megas of Borg is if you play against certain decks that are reliant with the extra deck, you can basically just auto win, because you can just completely wreck their extra deck to where they're probably not going to be able to come back. Keep in mind, over half of your opponent's extra deck gets ripped to shreds. You can actually recover your stuff because of Omega, but when Herald of the Arclight goes to the grave, I mean, obviously you just kind of make advantage. So his opponent goes with the Summoner Monk to summon Duza and goes for the Tornado Dragon. I guess he didn't realize that Unicorn negates extra deck monsters. That might have been a little bit of a kappa, but it's fine. He recovers by summoning 2 Crimson Deity. Now the thing about it is he tries to Valk the battle phase, right? He tries to stop the battle phase with the Valkyries. The problem is the cubic deities cannot, they're unaffected by monsters that have less than 3,000 attacks. So even something like Valkyries' hand effect will not stop them. The same thing goes, I believe, with cards like Battle Fader and Swift Scarecrow. Like, they're just unaffected by that. Now instead, what he's going to do is he is going to use Gungnir. Gungnir makes it so that his monster can't actually be destroyed by battle. He should have just done that from the beginning. I guess he could have saved himself a Valkyries, but it's one of those you live and learn plays. And then in main phase 2, obviously both players take 3,000 damage, so that kind of hurts him. He's going to go ahead. He's going to try to, I believe, summon Lord of Red. And I think that will be able to get rid of the Tornado Dragon. He's going to change that, or chain that, to Necron Cycle, which is smart. He's going to trish his opponent, but again, that protection, he can go ahead, well, he can try to affect the Crimson Nova cubic deity, but it's just not going to be effective. I was going to say target, but obviously Trish doesn't target. These monsters are hard to kill if the only thing you have is monster effects. However, he was pretty sneaky, and he summons the Nethys Ritual. This is nice because this thing is almost 5,000 attack. It can't be targeted. It can't be destroyed by card effects. I don't know how he plans on getting rid of this. Now, the interesting thing is they are both going to get super low, because keep in mind, this effect will activate even if you want to or not. So sometimes cubic players will burn themselves to death using the cubic deity, but unfortunately he doesn't have any way of stopping his opponent's big ass Link Nethys monster, so he can just attack him directly. It's good that he did close out that duel, because obviously Evenly Match and Kaleidoscope weren't going to be able to do anything in that instance. See, that's why you need things like Mind Control and just like little stuff like that. Second duel is going to be against DDD. Let's swap this, which, okay, there we go. I was like, it's not letting me swap for some reason. Okay, man, something like Droll and Lopper would have been super good if your opponent opens up with Pot of Desires and then follows that up with even more searching. I believe he's going to summon one of his really big DDDXC monsters. He does, and he also sets an impermanence and has an Ash Blossom. Really good. The thing about these ritual decks is, because the incantations plus so hard, it's just really hard for Ash Blossom to really be useful against them. I've played enough of these ritual decks to know Ash Blossom really doesn't hurt them, especially if they're playing pre-preparation of rites and preparation of rites. There's just too much searching. One Ash Blossom won't really be able to affect them. He is going to use Ash Blossom. Though again, the problem is there are just multiple ways of being able to pull these motherfuckers from your deck and from the graveyard and all that other stuff. He is going to activate the Necros of Trishula. That's going to be shut down by the Valk. I'm surprised that he decided to get Kepler. I mean, because the thing about it is, I believe that the DDD Link monster lets you special summon any monster from your any DDD monster from your extra deck. Let me just make sure, if this Link summon card in its owner's control is destroyed, you can special summon one DD. Oh, it has to be. No, I think DD is DDD. I think DD means any of them. So I wonder. I just imagine that people would summon like Siegfried or something like that. But hey, I guess maybe he just didn't want that. Maybe he really wanted that search, but he got a card that he already has. Anyways, it's not really going to be that relevant. He's maybe too low to use Pot of Desires. He only has like 14 cards left in his deck. So Second Desire is maybe not doing all that good. He's going to go for Electromite. And honestly, at this point in the duel, I was like, I think he actually has this because he has 2 extra monster zones open. He's going to destroy both of his opponent's monsters. And I was like, bro, you got an open field. Even if your opponent's at 3,000, you got to find a way to kill him. Leaves him with 700. You guys know what happens when you get your opponent that low. Now, the thing is, his opponent does have 3 back row. Unfortunately, they are all bluffs. He can't even use Desires as he only has 10 cards in his deck now. Couple of incantations. And if he's able to summon Zaborg, he should be able to actually blow up all 3 of that back row. Now, this was something cool. I had never seen this before in this ritual deck. He sends Toadally Awesome to the graveyard so he can recover one of his Necros monsters. How cool is that? I've never seen that played. Now, obviously, the Outer Entity Nets is going to just nuke all the back row so he doesn't have to worry about, you know, potentially running into another impermanence as he saw that earlier in the duel. And now, all he has to do is just kind of worry about the cards that the monsters. Now, if he does Trish his opponent, he won't be able to, you know, resolve the effect because his opponent no longer has a hand. But Brio actually might be pretty good here. Get a couple of bounces with Brio. I believe he's going to try to finish him with the Cyber Angel Rash. That can not only do damage, but it can also get rid of monsters. And now all he has to do use is Colossus. He knows that the duel is pretty much over because she can just ram into his ass. And, you know, then he doesn't have a way of stopping this attack and the Colossus as well. Also playing Blue Eyes Chaos Max. I mean, was this 2 different versions of this Necros? I feel like we may have seen 2 different versions of this Necros deck. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.